year after year, moving forward, I can guarantee you two things will happen on Good Friday. People preparing for Easter Sunday and Sutton shafting the Bulldogs on the annual Good Friday match. Now, I'm going to have a big rant this week because I think that there are two issues over the weekend with the game against the Rabbitohs. We should not have lost. We should not have allowed them to get so far ahead of us. And we had enough ball in their half to absolutely decimate them, but we couldn't. And the ref was a big part of that. But before we go on, before we start ranting about the horrible officiating, please make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Honestly, we have some great things coming up. There's something I can't announce just yet, but it's very, very exciting for all rugby league fans. We're going to have some very special guests coming on over the coming weeks as soon as Ramadan is done. Now, it's time for us to rant because I need to rant a little bit. Dibbo, I know you're not a Bulldogs supporter, but once again, the officiating by Gerard Sutton was absolutely pathetic on the weekend. Look, I'm not saying that we were perfect. We have a lot to improve on. But surely at a point, it becomes obvious that there's a clear bias by an official against the team. Sure, there's just no way, other way to describe it.
Before halftime, there should have been a sin bin. One of the Souths players should have went to the bin, if you recall that incident.
Isaiah Tass, when we made a break and he held the play down. I
guarantee if it was the other way around, that Canterbury player's going into the bin. No doubts about it. The NRL's got a few clubs that always seem to get the majority of the calls, and then there's those few clubs that never get the calls, being Canterbury. So I just thought also on the weekend, Canterbury should have got away with that game. They did more than enough. They had a lot of possession. I thought they were the more dangerous team. It's just unfortunate. Their finishing let them down, I guess. Probably just got to work on some attack. They should have punished Souths. In my opinion, I thought Canterbury should have got home by about 2 tries at least. I thought they were the better side. Just couldn't, I guess, transfer that into tries and points on the board. I thought their defence was quite good. And Souths got the rub of the green. But games like this, if you're not going to ice your chances, it's going to be the difference between finishing down the bottom of the ladder or towards the bottom of the ladder and much higher up, like fighting for a top 8 spot. That could be a difference between 6 to 8 wins this year. And you want to make those count. Yeah,
look, absolutely spot on. I think these games that we're supposed to win, I think that game was one of them. I don't think the Rabbitohs were that great.
Definitely not. Oh, wow.
It was just Whiten. I thought Whiten was just... he was the difference. But even then, right, I don't think that even him being such a difference wasn't enough for us to lose that game. If you look at the tries, we scored 3 tries each.
Some of your players deserve special mentions.
Look, we'll get to that, but I'm still in rant mode because, last year in the corresponding game, we had... a player sent off or sin bin for a hip drop tackle, and Jason Demetriou had a bit of a sook in the press conference. Lo and behold, 2024, Good Friday game, there was a hip drop tackle, right, on Jacob Preston, who did hurt his leg.
I thought he was going to score.
Right, I also thought he was going to score, and the ref just plays on like we all of a sudden we're not punishing hip drops anymore.
And the interpretation, it shows you how much the NRL and maybe Channel 9 got their favourites. Interpretation was, he kept holding on to the hip. He didn't slide down.
Yes, he did.
And I was just looking there thinking, yeah, okay.
So now we're using discretion? And all of a sudden...
I guarantee if it was the other way around, what would have happened was the Canterbury player would have got put in the bin on report, and it would have been a try for Souths. That's what would have happened.
They would have given a penalty try.
Yeah, exactly. They would have found a way to give that a penalty try.
It's
just farcical, and it needs to stop. And they got to stop. Basically, they got to stop with this whole golden child sort of clubs like Souths, Roosters, Parramatta, just to name a few.
Absolute joke. Like, look, I'm not saying we would have won, or I'm not saying that was the only reason we lost, but it goes a long way to affecting your momentum, and it goes a long way to also, affecting the mentality of the team when these calls are going against them consistently. And it's not like we've ever seen calls go our way. Over the last 2 or 3 years, even longer than that, week after week, the Dogs, Tigers, Dragons have calls go against them that are blatant. They are blatant. Like against the Eels, for example, the NRL and the referees were trying to give that game to Parramatta. But even though the Tigers were the better team, they were trying to give that game to the Eels.
Yeah, I know. And I'm glad the Tigers came away with that win.
And
I'm actually very glad that Gutherson didn't even get close to kicking that. So
it's just, and you know, the other thing like that I find absolutely mind-boggling, right, is that Latrell Mitchell coming in, on the 40-minute mark, right on halftime, coming in with the hip, hitting Josh Adokar. Not only is it unnecessary, but for example, people like a lot
took out your player.
A lot of the discussion has been about the duty of care, right? Duty of care. Right, so they were saying that, for example, that tackle on Isang Tango made on Reece Walsh, even though it was accidental, he has a duty of care not to hit the head, right? Well, why wouldn't Latrell Mitchell have duty of care towards not hitting Adokar in the head?
Golden child.
Right? Adokar was off for 40 minutes. He was knocked out.
Yeah, he's lost the player.
And now he can't play for us this week either.
He's had to rejig your team.
Right? And nothing gets made of it. Nothing gets mentioned of it. And then the judiciary gives him an $1,800 fine. Well, hang on a second. If he cops an $1,800 fine for that, where was the repercussion on the field?
Exactly. No sin bin, nothing.
No
on report, just so that you can replace your player.
Gerard
you can
flog.
activate.
He's an absolute flog. He's been doing the same thing.
I think I read an incredible stat in the paper today. Canterbury has a 6% win rate with Sutton.
6%.
1 out of the last 16. He also officiated that, if you remember that famous Easter game, Good Friday, where James Graham was pointing a fist in his face. And after looking at that, 1 out of 16 win, 1 out of 16 when you've officiated 6%. I'm starting to think that James Graham probably had a point to swing that fist. Should have connected as well.
And as a Doggies fan, it's clear, right? And people say, oh, you're a fan. Of course, you think everybody's against you, but the statistics are there. We've won one game out of the last 16 with Gerard Sutton. 6%.
Jeez. And then take him out and your win rate goes up to 35%.
On average across all the referees.
Yeah.
So, is he just an anomaly, or
I think
is there a bias there? Does he still hate us because of 2015 when he got booed and people pelted him with water bottles that he deserved?
I think it's either he doesn't like your team's style, like the way they play and all that, probably not to his liking. So maybe
that's not his job to like our style.
Yeah, exactly. There's things that he thinks you guys maybe toe line of. No expert, or it could be your fans must have done something to him off the field.
It's pathetic though. That's unprofessional. And
I think it's more the latter than the former.
I think it's just unprofessional that year after year, had we had even 50%, if things were split down the middle, I actually think we win that game.
I thought you guys should have still won despite the decisions going against you. Just your team, they're getting better. They just didn't ice those attacking chances. They had a wealth of possession, a wealth of territory. They just didn't ice it.
The frustration that's built up in me right now. So
we tipped the Dogs for a reason.
We did, but let me give some positives, right?
There was plenty, and there's players that deserve special mention. And unfortunately, one of them suspended this week.
But our defense is getting better and better every week. I think that's
of course
clear.
Notable.
We lost Morin, right, for 10 minutes of Simbin because of a speed tackle, which was fair. Like that was fair, right?
I was going to give him a special mention because we absolutely sparked them in that. You remember when they had that 10-minute period?
Yeah.
He was running onto the ball. He was putting on hits. He's
killing it. Unbelievable.
He's a powers. I think pound for pound, he'd be the strongest player in the game.
He's ridiculous.
He's only a small size, but he hits like a Kafusi or
he doesn't.
Or he's got the strength of a Lomax.
Never take a step back. Never stops running his legs. But we held them. I think they only kicked a penalty goal when we were down to 12 men. We were able to.
They only got the ascendancy. Yeah, you're right.
But they weren't.
Besides the early quick start they had, but that was quickly turned around from the refs' calls.
It was the refs' calls, right? And it was one ridiculous Reid Marnie penalty. We didn't even touch the player, and he said, this is a penalty when we were actually on the ascendancy. But it just, again, go back to Gerard Sutton is an absolute flog, right? It happens to the Bulldogs all the time, especially on Good Friday. And look, fans across the internet circle this game in because we could come out there
big crowd
play,
too. Big crowd.
Bro, Doggies could come out there and play 10 out of 10, and Sutton will still find a way to give the game to
It was
the
an
Rabbitohs.
entertaining game. I really enjoyed watching it. I just thought, this one slipped away from Canterbury.
Look,
They should be 2-2, not 1-3.
as a Doggies supporter, that was one of the most disappointing performances.
Because you
of the
guys
year.
should have walked away with the 2 points.
The fact that we've gone back to the method that everyone hated back in 2015, 2016, where the dummy the fullback will the halfback will run across the face of the defensive line and then pass the ball back in, and we did it again and again and again instead of spreading the ball.
I didn't like that about Marnie running sideways.
What was going on there?
I'll admit that. Look, I'll tell you a big positive with Canterbury is they've played 4 games this year, and not in one of those games have they been blown away. They've actually been in the fight for those games. Like even the Parramatta game, they did not get blown away. Cronulla, if things had gone their way, there was some calls Cronulla got that Canterbury didn't.
Absolutely.
And Canterbury basically, they had their chances as well, like this game. They could easily be 3-1.
Look, our problem is our halfback needs a couple of paces more in speed.
They're getting I thought there was a bit of correlation. I mean,
No, there was, and it would improve. But here's the truth, right?
You need to play a bit more speed. You're right.
You look at the Tigers.
They're playing in perpetual motion at the moment.
You look at the Tigers.
Lockie
right?
Galvin.
No, actually, it's not Lockie Galvin.
But I'm saying like what he did.
He's great, but it's Aiden Caesar there that's made all the difference.
How good is he?
It's fantastic.
And you know what's good? They also got T-Bud Sullivan.
Absolutely.
You know?
But I'm saying he's an experienced half. He's got some speed.
Hands down.
Very good game organizer. Very good game manager. Takes kicks when he needs to. Throws the right passes.
And he's also a Canterbury junior.
And he's a Canterbury junior. But the club didn't want him. We bought Drew Hutchison. He's got the speed of a forward, and he's got the passing game of a forward too, right? It's look, he may have some positives,
Very harsh.
right? But any Canterbury supporter will tell you, right, that it's clear there are opportunities that Hutchison can't take because he's not quick enough at halfback. He's just not quick enough at halfback, neither in the legs nor between the ears, because there have been so many opportunities to go out the back to his pass selection. It's not there.
Like, I don't get it. In the under-20s, he was a halfback, and he was an out-and-out halfback, and he was, I think, the player of the comp in that 20s comp playing halfback. But that's kids comp, let's be frank. But in first grade, I don't know what he is. Like, what does he play?
Roosters sort of ruined his career a little bit.
You look at it, I think he went to England as well, didn't he? For a year. You look at it and you think, what is he? Is he a halfback? He's not a halfback. You think, is he a lock? Is he, like, what is he?
I think he'd be a much better lock, because if you look at and look, this is just me.
I don't
thinking out
think
loud.
defense is his forte or hard work.
But he's
forwards.
actually made some try-saving tackles and some big blokes over the weeks, and I've
So
got
you
to
think
commend
you
him
got
for
to
that.
throw him in the deep end?
Look, I think what you do is potentially you drop Damon Salmon, you put Hydro at lock, right?
Yep.
You have Sexton at 7,
Yep.
right? And then the bench arranges itself essentially. But they're my thoughts. Now, some other things that I think just from a statistics perspective, I still think that the Doggies do have a bit of work to do, right? So, okay, we had more possession than they did. We had 54% of possession.
He's had a wealth he's had a wealth of territory as well.
We had the ball in our possession for 5 minutes more than they did.
And look at your territory where he's had it.
Territory, we did have excellent territory. We couldn't capitalize.
How many tackles do you have inside that 20? And over there, in their half, I think he's probably had about 40 to 60 tackles in their 20.
No, I think it's close to 30. It wasn't that many.
All right, 30.
But still, yeah.
But a lot of it was played in their half, over the 50 into their half.
Look, I'm with you. And that's what I'm saying, that our attack needs to improve quite dramatically for us to win.
I think look, your back five, I don't have no qualms about him. Your 6 is really coming on, I'm thinking now.
Burton's playing out his
He's a
skin,
good
man.
run on the ball. Even though I still think he's a centre, I think he's improved leaps and bounds these last few weeks. It's just that other jigsaw of the 7. You know, it does Hutchison, do you persevere with him for the next few weeks and hope he just keeps improving or improves a lot more than we're expecting? Or do you then just go and grab Sexton and say, okay, you're up now?
Look, I think at a point they've got to make a decision and say, look, this isn't working. And look, you can see that Ciraldo's starting to get frustrated a little bit.
I was actually frustrated with him as well, with his bench rotation.
Still pathetic.
How much did he give Sam Hughes on the weekend? 10 points?
14 minutes.
14 minutes.
You
you saw what happened when he injected
Liam
Morin.
Knight only played, I think, 14 minutes, 15 minutes.
But you saw what happened when he injected Morin into the game. It was a lot of energy. I'm sure he could have given those two players you mentioned an extra 10, 15 minutes. Your boys out there that could have came out for another refreshing moment. I'm sure they would have enjoyed that.
Yeah, look, I'm with you. But I do want to give a rap to our forwards.
Go on. Sorry.
Right. So Max King ran for 141 meters.
Yep.
I think
Special mention.
The numbers are starting to get up to where we need them to be.
Oh, hands down.
Kick out ran for 95 meters.
Yep.
Not bad. Not as good as last week, but his defense has been on point.
Yep. He'll improve this week, I hope.
Jacob Preston ran for 129 meters.
Yep. Should have had a try as well.
Liam Knight only ran for 30 meters.
But what are you going to achieve in 14 minutes?
Agree with you. Josh Curran ran for 136 meters.
He's a beast.
So
how much did he get out of Morin? 70 meters?
Surprisingly, only 63 meters.
Yeah, that's good. No, he didn't have... How many minutes did he get? 25, 30? He had a sim bin, don't forget. So probably got about 20.
He had 18 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Not even. And he got a nice return like that.
Amazing.
Can you imagine if he had double that? He would have got you a 100-meter return.
And almost half of those are post-contact meters.
Of course.
Honestly.
And he gave a line break and a line break assist, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
He hit with a lot of force.
A lot of force. So, when he's one definitely that,
Are the team lists, they're not getting released today. It's tomorrow, is it?
No, it got released.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So,
we'll get into that.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll get into
changes?
that. There are some changes.
Yep.
But
I've got to pull out my phone to see.
So, I think, it's actually a travesty that we lost that game. The Rabbitohs didn't deserve to win it. The Rabbitohs were no good. I don't think Latrell nor Cody Walker stood up.
Yep.
Dean Hawkins was nowhere. I think we lost that game more than they won it.
Just show you guys, we generally film this podcast around the team list Tuesday, so we try
to come in and sort of record at 4:30,
nice and fresh, So,
so that's sort of where I'm at with that game. I thought Reid Money's starting to have better games. He made a line break. There was one line break that he made from dummy half, and he passed to Drew Hutchison, and Hutcho chose the wrong pass and couldn't get the ball across to Connor Tracy to score that try. Curtis Morin knocked the ball on over the line. That could have been another try. And there are a couple more that we left out there on the field. So, yeah, again, very, very disappointed that we lost that game. But if we persevere, I think that we're going to come home with a wet sail towards the end of the season, because we have one of the most difficult first 8 rounds. First 7 rounds, not including the bye. So, I'm not too disappointed. I think that we're building well. And I have to say that, for example, Connor Tracy honestly unbelievable. Like, he ran for 190 meters.
Yeah, another solid game.
So he's averaging 200
Handling
meters a
could have
game.
been a bit better, but another solid game.
For sure. But, he's averaging...
Blake Taff with some deft touches.
That kick from Blake Taff,
Yeah, he did a few of them during the game. One came off, a few others almost came off. Just waiting for him to get more involved, maybe more, get more running out of him. His try assist will come, so hoping for another big improvement from him this week.
100%.
You guys got the Roosters, right?
Roosters, yeah, we've got the Roosters.
So a big game.
It'll be a big game.
Is that at Allianz or is it going to be at...
I'm not sure. I think it's at Allianz. No, it's not at home for us. It's at home for them.
Oh, that'll be a nice game to go to.
It'll be a good game to go to. So, I've got hopes for this game, but yeah. What do you think? Am I being a bit of a sook, or do I have...
No. You're not being a sook whatsoever. A lot of it is, you mentioned basically, should have got the win. It's a positive in itself that they're in there competing. You talked up a few of the players as well. No sooking there, basically. It's a win you guys should have had, 2-2. Just the one that got away. And, sometimes fans do get fed up of not getting the rub of the green from the NRL and the refs. So, you have every right to be frustrated.
I just want to say, Marnie made 57 tackles and only missed 2.
Yeah.
Max King ran for 140 meters, made 37 tackles.
Just with Marnie, it's great, his defense. I just think that just needs to basically execute better in attack.
Agreed.
He needs to flow from not going more sideways. He's stifling the attack a bit.
I actually think that comes down to him getting a bit tired towards the 60th
Too much
minute.
defense.
Yeah, I think there needs to be, man needs to come on and play more dummy half to replace Marnie, even if it means giving him a 10-minute breather
Hands
in the
down.
game somewhere, just to prolong his attacking prowess.
Marnie should be encouraged to take more darts from dummy half as well.
He's so good at it.
He's just, all right, your tackling's great, your defense is great, but if anything, he's just either going sideways or just flat passing the ball from dummy half.
No, but when he does take runs, he's actually pretty deceptive. Like,
He's really good. Remember him at Parramatta?
but he's done it now. He's done it for 2 weeks in a row. He did it a few times against the Titans, and he done it twice against the Rabbitohs.
I like to see him go a bit more because to put more you guys on the front foot or ascendancy.
100%,
That's
100%.
just to keep that momentum going.
Oh, that's another thing. How many times were they out of position at marker? Marnie would run at them. He literally gets up and they're right in front of him. They're literally not at marker, and the referee refuses to call 6 again.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to keep going.
Positioning was
I'm not
not
going
the
to keep
best.
going.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, exactly.
The ref not penalising
the ref could have pinged
He
them
didn't
for
want
that.
to. No, the Rabbitohs. No, I'm not going to penalise.
It's my golden child.
Oh,
It's their golden child.
look. I can't because, it pisses me off. It just infuriates me, man. I want to talk about the team, just very quickly, team stats before we get onto some other things.
Yep, lineups as well.
Overall, I didn't think, even though their forwards are far, far superior to ours, we did not take a step back. Our forwards were very good. And I'm starting to think that our forwards actually aren't the problem now. It's our half. And that's where the problem lies.
Forwards are actually improving better than we expected.
Out of sight.
All of them.
Incredibly, right?
All of them.
And
he's got forwards from lower grades still to come through.
And that's still given our poor substitution by Seraldo.
Yeah.
But what I want to just
Things have a technical performance.
point out was that just in defense, we only missed 32 tackles.
Right.
Our average last year was about 60.
That's a lot better.
Yeah, right. So we've only missed 32 tackles. I think that's fantastic.
Eventually, you probably want to bring that down to
it's got to come down
15.
to 20s. Yeah, 15 to 20.
10.
But it's such a good sign. And
Yeah.
I think that it's just a matter of time before our defense has improved, our mentality has improved. It's just a matter of how do we improve now the attack, right? And it's a work in progress, but overall, I've done a lot of ranting and complaining, but we're on the right track. We're going in the right trajectory. Thoughts?
Yeah, agreed. I mean, if you're averaging 60 last year, sorry, and you're down to 32 just for this game, still needs a lot of improvement, but look, you aren't conceding tries like last year where you're conceding 6, 7, 8 tries a game. I mean, 3 tries, 0 tries, a couple of tries. That's a big improvement. And consistency is the key. So he's just got, I know he's only up to round 4, but I'd like to see that across for the rest of the season.
Same.
And if he's going to do that for the rest of the season, he'll get plenty of wins and he'll finish much higher up the ladder towards the middle, I reckon. And that's where, you want to actually go in that direction. Like even if he's finished towards the middle, it's a big positive. You know that there's more improvement next year to then crack the 8 if you just don't make the 8 this year.
I actually feel like if we can ice those games we're supposed to be
He'll
in,
make the 8. That's what I mean.
Honestly, I genuinely feel like I
There's
know
6
people
to 8
think,
games.
doggies are this. No, but I feel like if we take advantage of the opportunities that we put ourselves in, there's no. I don't feel like we're going to. I don't feel like we're going to miss out on the 8. I genuinely think that we've got the potential to get there.
Spot on.
Now, just want to change track just a little bit. There was a couple of interesting games over the weekend. First and foremost, your Dragons did very well against the Seagulls.
Oh, the Seagulls were horrible. I wouldn't say the Dragons did well.
The Seagulls were pathetic.
Just that horrible. Like somebody brought their laser out, and I know who it is. It's Finch and Zed, but Tom Trebojevic couldn't catch a ball after that first. When he was torching him in that first 15, then after that couldn't catch a ball, and it's like his confidence got crushed and didn't want to get involved anymore. And then Manly blew a few chances. I think Manly just gifted the Dragons to win there. Like Dragons did okay, but Manly were horrible.
Manly were very, very bad.
No excuses there. I mean, Dragons got a massive improvement still to go. 2-2, but I mean, let's just be frank. They've played lowly Gold Coast and out of sorts Manly.
Breaking news that Lomax has been allowed to
Lomax,
he's been told that he won't be at the club next year.
Yeah, look, I think Fano's... Lomax is an athlete. He's an absolute athlete. He's a powerhouse. He sees himself as a centre. Yeah, I'll probably see him as a centre as well. He's too slow to be a winger. He's not. But Flano touched on it from the start, and this is what great coaches do. He's seen that he's on about 850 a season. I think in that position, he's the highest paid centre in the comp. But Flano was pointing out to him, you're like 25th, and 34th best centre in the comp. There's a lot of things you need to improve on, especially on that pay packet. But then he had his preference to go Jack Bird on the in the centres. First game was great. Next two games were very poor on that side from Bird. But this week he redeemed himself against, I guess, Manly were poor.
Look.
But I don't see Bird as a centre either. I think he's just past him. I think he's back in the lock. But, Flano's put Lomax on the wing. And he's absolutely killed it. Besides lacking a lot of pace, he's absolutely had some big returns.
He's averaging 200 metres or something off the wing.
But he's just discontent. And I think in the long term, if he had stayed there, he would have developed into more of a running game, and his stats would have been through the roof eventually. He would have shifted back to the centres eventually, but no patience. They kept snapping at Flano's heels. So Flano's like, yep, I don't need this guy's management to tell me what to do. You know what? This is going to free us up 850. I had plans for him. I got plans for the club. See you later. He's now freed up 850. Dragons aren't contributing a cent at all. Sunia Taruva is coming. He's off contract. If Penrith can't match, I'm sure other clubs are going to come into the play now because Dragons can't be the only one. If Dragons got to try act fast to get Taruva before anyone else snaps him up, such as the Roosters or some other club. And now he'll get some speed. He'll get someone that's a workhorse. Taruva, let's be frank, he's probably another Brian To'o on that wing. He's got big returns. He can double up as a centre, maybe a winger as a fullback as well. So that, and then I think they're trying to entice Jordan Petaia to come over from Rugby Union.
I think that if he comes over from Rugby Union, that'll be the go. I think that's the go, better than Sunia Taruva.
I personally, I'll be honest here, I wouldn't mind having them both, but I personally prefer Taruva. We need some speed.
Yeah,
and a play of his caliber.
Yeah.
Petaia, I don't know how we go at rugby league, to be honest.
I think he'll do.
He's a big body and all that, but I'd love to have them both if Flano is interested.
I'll be honest with you, like someone like Gerard Sutton at the Bulldogs, if he doesn't get a run soon, I think he'll be out. Be gone.
Isn't he a union background?
He was. He came from
He
union.
would command triple what he's on at the Dogs, playing in like some French rugby or.
Yeah, not sure why he's trying to make it in NRL, but he may have some defensive issues.
He should go to Europe or even Japan. They'll snap him up in Japan for half a million.
100%.
$500,000 yen.
Tigers win 2. Win a second night against the Eels, 17-16.
That was such a wholesome, feel-good, whatever you want to describe it. I was so glad they came back and stole that.
Oh, man. Like, to see them...
And when Lockie went through, that was brilliant.
It was just... Look, they... just very quickly, they were also missing a man, and they only conceded 2 points from a penalty kick while they were down to 12 men, because Lachlan Galvin was sin-binned for a hip drop tackle, which is fair, and I think he'll be suspended for 2 games. But that's fine.
He's going to get suspended, but I just want to point out if that was the other way around or the other Golden Childs, play on.
Yeah, play on. Nothing happened. Yeah, nothing happened.
Penalty at worst, not on report.
But the Tigers showed grit and determination and great defense.
Wasn't there last year? Wasn't there the year before?
Oh, definitely not. And the Eels had multiple possessions on their line, on the Tigers line, and the Tigers just continuously repelled them.
Who do they have this week?
The Tigers have this week.
They're sitting in 6th. Wow, that's better than sitting in 9th.
Where are they? Where are the Tigers? Oh, they have the Dolphins. I actually think they can get
Is that at home or away?
It's a good question. Let me just show you.
Dolphins are sitting a bit higher than everyone expects them to be, and I don't think they'll finish near that high, the Dolphins.
I reckon they'll Stadium.
Where?
Suncorp.
They're getting a favourable draw, the Dolphins.
Initially
It'll catch up to
them. It's going to catch up.
It's going to catch on, especially in that second half.
So look, I'm so happy for the Tigers. Like I'm their biggest cheerleader because they've been down there in the doldrums with the Bulldogs, and to see them do well for me, it makes me very happy, especially against the team against like the Eels, who not only have had favorable calls, but I feel like are perennial underachievers with the team that they have. And look, people are going to say Moses wasn't playing, but honestly, that's not good enough. If you can't beat the Tigers when your number 7's gone, then that means you may not have the depth or the longevity to win a grand final. That's the way I look at it. A couple other games, Warriors beat the Knights. Very happy about that. Titans again started well and then really shit the bed. Like, I don't know what's going on there.
I thought they were going to steal it at one stage, and that's despite missing Tino.
I thought they were too, but yeah.
Oh, missed Tino already, and we got him for the rest of the year. He's gone.
Jaden Campbell was good for them.
Oh, he's a brilliant player. He's he'll be knocking on Origin in a few years.
And then Sharks and Raiders,
Oh, that was wow. That was 18-0 to Canberra. They came flying out of the blocks, and then there was that 10 or 8 minute period before half time. Cronulla went bang, bang, bang.
Yep.
And you know what? It was good to see KL Ira get his first NRL try.
Yeah.
Classy centre. Too good to be playing reserves.
Agreed.
He'll be a really good centre in the coming years.
Now, I'm going to get to the Dogs and Roosters. So it's an interesting lineup today that they released. So
Kiriani.
Wilson slots straight back in for Adokar.
Yep.
Hutchison still at 7. Interestingly, though, it's the forwards where things have changed quite significantly. So we've got Max King at 8, Marnie at 9. Samuel Hughes comes into the starting lineup at 10. About time. Viliami Kikau at 11. Josh Curran comes into the starting lineup at 12 to replace Preston. Jamin Salmon at lock.
He's gone back to the bench.
So on the bench, we've got Kurt Mann. Harrison Edwards makes a comeback, which I think is great. I'm a big fan of Harrison Edwards.
Sounding like the sound of this forward pack already, or this bench.
Liam Nye.
Yeah, all right.
And then you've got
He's done all right the last few games.
Kitione Katonga.
Who's missing from last week's bench besides Morin? Is that it?
No, that's it. They just swapped Liam Knight and...
Who did Harrison Edwards come in for? Someone else is missing.
Oh, no, for Preston, where Karen's gone to the second row to start.
And Preston's done his jaw.
Yeah, Preston's done his jaw. Could be
Poor
out
bloke.
up to 4 to 6 weeks.
He almost had a full-strength lineup besides Addo Carr and maybe Bronson Sherry. Wow.
But, you know, what's interesting is we've got the depth to cover...
It looks good now.
Yeah, it looks...
I hope Harrison Edwards has a big game.
Me too.
As well as Katonga, because he'll do them a lot of good for their confidence and also for the depth of those forwards.
I
hope Sam Hughes has a whale of a game.
Me too. I hope he gives him enough minutes to prove himself.
I hope some idiot doesn't do anything that gives him HIA. That will really piss me off knowing that rugby club.
But the Roosters are looking very stacked. Very, very
They're
stacked.
always stacked. Hopefully this is the start of the fall of their empire. And
I mean, they've got the same back line with, Kiri and Walker, but then, their forward packs are Jared Doria-Hargreaves, Brandon Smith, Lindsay Collins, Nat Butcher, Angus Crichton, Victor Radley. Then on the bench, you've got Connor Watson, Nafahu White, Sitili Tupanua, and then Terrell May. I mean...
That's a crazy forward pack.
It's an incredible forward pack.
I was actually sounding very happy for you guys, then I just heard their lineup. I'm like, jeez.
It's ridiculous. Like, Nafahu White's come out of nowhere, but he's playing out of his skin. He's fantastic. Tupanua is such a great run of the ball.
I'm guessing they're 1 to 7s Tedesco, and you got Walker.
Tedesco, Tupou, Suali'i, Manu, Young, Kiri, and Walker. So
jeez,
it's just a ridiculous.
That's like grand final candidate. Lineup I just heard there. You've
100%.
literally, it just sounded so sweet coming out of your mouth that you think, geez, these guys are going to maybe be playing the grand final of a lineup like that. Like, it was good hearing your team's lineup, albeit missing a few players, but then I was liking your chances till I heard their lineup.
I worry they might put on a big score against us.
Oh, I hope not. I hope you boys come to play.
I hope. Look, they will. I think they will. They'll be seething after the loss to the Rabbitohs.
It's just Preston's a bit of a loss. Morin would have been in a game like this.
Morin would be good.
He offers a lot of aggression.
I also think though that this is a good team. Like, I'm not disappointed with this team.
I hope they come out aggressive.
Me too.
When is it? Friday night?
Friday at 6 p.m.
The
only one I'm not really too sure about is why Seraldo hasn't been choosing Poasa Famasuli. Didn't
he have the HIA?
He had the HIA.
Maybe he needed more time to recover. Has he played reserves?
Yeah, he has, and he's on the bench. He's on the reserves.
How's Bronson Sherry going reserve grade? No.
He's doing okay. He's not doing too badly. His defense is still a bit suspect, but his attack's great. Toby Sexton's doing well as well.
Has he shed a bit of pounds, Sherry? He's not fat. He's just huge.
Just really bulky, yeah.
Yeah, like
he hasn't, but I think that's adding to his attack. Look, I'm going to tip the doggies by, I'm going to say a margin of 6.
It's a bounce back. I'm going to go Roosters, mate. I'll be honest here. Just hearing that lineup,
I don't blame you. I think it's a fair call, to be honest.
I want to go Roosters by a big score, but it's probably unfair on the Dogs for me to say that. When I mean big side, I'm not expecting to say 30 or 40 points. No, I'm thinking maybe somewhere about 18 to 24 points.
I don't think.
And you know what? If it's a lot closer, I'll be happy for the Dogs, and I wouldn't be surprised, especially the way they've conducted themselves this year.
I don't think our defense will allow them to score that many more than us.
I don't think they'll. I think it's just. They're going to be hard to break down. But then again, their defense isn't always crash hot, the Roosters.
No, you're right.
They're more known for their attack.
So my thing is that if we beat the Roosters, this will be the upset of the year, not this round, the year. Like, if we beat them, it'll be a big upset. I
don't think so. I think you guys are capable. I mean, the Roosters are also capable of having an off game. So
it's true. They do have, I don't think...
They've already lost twice this year, haven't they?
Yeah, and look, they're not performing...
they only won one more game.
Yeah,
their attack's been clunky for some reason.
It has been.
So, like... to even back yourselves, good shout. I just think you're just a few players off of where you want to be. Yeah. Or maybe he's playing him maybe about 2 months a bit too early, I think, for my liking.
I think our problem is that we're a good halfback away from beating the Roosters.
I just think your team needs a few more months. Yeah. It would have been perfect for your team to play him then.
So we call that. Just quickly, I want to sort of... give some. So what do you guys think, actually? I want to ask the fans, what do you guys think? Do you guys think we stand a chance against the Roosters? I mean, personally, I do think we do. I think that it will just come down to the execution of our attack. I think our defense will be up for it, but I don't know if our attack will be able to be up for it.
Look, I have it this way. I'm pretty confident you guys will make some inroads. I just think they got more class across the whole park, more than you guys.
Incredible.
Even their backline. You guys got some good players in the backs and in the forwards. I just think from 1 to 17.
Yeah, they're fully...
Like, who's their worst player?
Yeah.
Like, and when I mean worst, I'm not saying that he's definitely first-grade material. Who is it? Nafahu White? Because he's a crunching player. Who is it? Terrell May? It's another crunching player. He's off contract still.
Yeah. So, I mean, hopefully...
I'd throw the feeders out for him.
Oh, I absolutely would. Throw
Great
the bank
player.
out. Yeah,
he's going to be big.
And he's only one of maybe 2 or 3 props that we need.
I mean, yeah. But get one. Just get one.
Get one. Let's start there.
Just get one there. Start with that.
So let us know what you guys think about the Bulldogs and the Roosters. Can we win? I think it would be an exciting game. It definitely won't lack any drama. The Dogs and Roosters, 20 years ago, faced off, in a grand final, and the Doggies won. So it could
20-year anniversary this
20-year anniversary, yeah. So it's quite exciting.
Anyone still playing from the grand final?
No one. It's been 20 years since.
Yeah, I think Sonny was the last remaining. A few years ago, retired.
May have been Sonny, yeah.
Yeah, a few years ago.
The 04 team, every one of them will be there at the game.
So they are actually doing it, though.
Yeah.
Including Sonny Bill?
Everyone, the whole team's going to be there.
Well, but is Sonny Bill going to be representing the Dogs or the Roosters?
Well, he won with the Dogs in 04, so I don't know why he'd be representing the Roosters.
But just being a prick.
Dib,
Uncle Nick,
Come
man.
on, Dib.
Yeah, Uncle Nick's got his magic
spells.
Come
on, Dib. Get your head around it, bro. Come on.
Brainwash Sonny.
Come on, I know you're fasting, bro, but it's no excuse for...
Can I ask, hey, Doggies fans, have you guys gotten over that yet? It's been about 16 years. He opened, to him, he's a trailblazer to all the other players. I mean, you got about 7 to 10 years in first grade. I'll tell you now, I earn more than some first graders. Why should I be earning more than first graders? So, obviously in the manner he maybe done it, could have been something better.
Bro, it's 20 years ago. If Doggies fans aren't over it, this is a lot of Doggies fans.
If anything, your anger should be directed at not Sonny. Sonny was doing what's right for him, and he actually went about it reasonably well at the start.
Todd Greenberg.
It's your stupid CEO.
Yeah. 100%.
Somebody highlight the word stupid
100%.
CEO.
No, 100%.
All right. It's Todd Greenberg and maybe the Canterbury board. That Canterbury board that was then back then, that your displeasure should be aimed at, not at Sonny.
There was a lot that happened. But
I know for a fact they had a few meetings beforehand. Everyone knows that.
Let's not open old wounds. We all love Sonny.
I just want to justify his actions, and maybe the heat should have went on the board who were basically hiding and blaming him. It's themselves to blame for not.
Maybe we'll get him on the podcast and get him have this discussion with him on the podcast.
Oh no, I won't have that discussion with him. It's definitely not.
No. Storm Broncos. That's going to be...
That's a tough one. Did the Storm get anyone back? Has Hughes or Munster or anyone came back? What about Nelson Asafa Solomono, who's heading to St. George? Is he back in the lineup?
Munster's back. Hughes is back. But yeah, surprisingly...
No Nas?
No.
Probably another week.
No, yeah.
I reckon it's all bullshit what the media's reporting about Nas.
Yeah, I think it is.
I think it's just Bellamy needs him to get his fitness back and game time, because the guy had a bad hamstring injury. He
And
wants
big guys.
He doesn't want to throw him in for 10, 15 minutes. He wants him back for 60 minutes.
Yeah.
So he's the reserves. Make your way up.
Look, I thought
I'll
the
take him
Broncos.
at St George.
I thought the Broncos were absolutely excellent against the Cowboys.
Yep.
I think it'll be different game against the Storm, but
I'm going the Storm. I think the Storm are fresh. They needed that break.
it's in Melbourne, so I
Yeah.
do think it'll be. I think Storm will be maybe by 12, 6
Yeah.
or 12.
Is Reece Walsh back?
No, Reece Walsh
No
is
one
still
is
out.
back. No Payne Haas.
No, but do you know what? Tristan Saylor did very well.
He's sensational.
Yeah,
He'd
did
start at
very
most
well.
clubs.
Yeah, he did very well.
He'd probably even find a starting spot at Penrith.
Dogs Roosters. You've called Roosters by a big margin. I'm calling Dogs.
Not big. I mean, what's 18 points?
It's a big margin, man. We don't want to be losing by those amounts.
28-10 doesn't look too bad.
Yes, it does. For a Doggies team, it does.
Oh, really?
Knights Dragons at McDonald Jones Stadium.
I'm going to go Knights. I'm not convinced of the Dragons whatsoever. The Knights are due for a win. They've had a few close calls. They probably should have got home against the Warriors. They're in it for a while. They're too classy. They'll be hungry for a win. They'll be cheered on by a parochial 30,000 crowd. The Dragons were absolutely clunky last week. Manly gifted that game. They got blown away the previous 2 weeks, and they played a weak Gold Coast side. So I'm going to go Newcastle by 18 minimum.
I'm going to go Newcastle by a small margin for one reason and one
Is
reason
this
alone.
just your hate of Newcastle?
No, actually no. Genuinely, because they've dropped Tyson Gamble and brought Jackson Hastings back.
Hastings, I think, is really good.
Yeah, I'm the same, right? So they've put Hastings at half, Cogger at 6.
I think Cogger will be the next to be dropped. Then Campbell will come back in. Musical
No,
chairs.
I
don't rate that coach. I think it's just,
I don't rate him
it's
either.
just the players own doing what happened at the back end of last year.
I don't. To be honest,
you had
it was
Greg
it was Ken Ponga. Honestly, last
Ponga,
year,
and then you had Marju and Dominic Hanson-Young, who was there last year. Mate, they were scoring like. Remember, I think they ended up both of them ended up in the top 3 try scorers for the comp in a shootout with the Dolphins.
But I actually think you're being too harsh on the Dragons. I reckon that
they're very clunky.
I think the Dragons will be in for
I'm
it.
just being unbiased.
I reckon the Dragons will be in for it. Terrell Sloan to score a brace.
No.
But
Is Marju playing this week?
No.
Oh, so they're missing a bit of strike weapons out wide.
So
that's why they're suffering.
Yeah, but I still think potentially because it's at McDonald Jones, probably Knights by 6. But it's really close.
Or do you think Jack Bird and Slomax are going to steal it for the Dragons?
Now, look, if anything, I think Bradman Best is just he's going to shit all over Bird. I just don't understand Flanagan.
Yeah, Bradman's like, I don't know, what do you call him? A Ford Territory?
He's a freak.
He's just bulky and he's fast. Very fast.
Warriors and Rabbitohs.
This one's in Auckland or here?
It's here. It's in Accor. But
I'm going to go Warriors. Warriors by 14. Souths, I don't think are getting any roll on.
Chance is back.
Yeah, Souths by 14. But what's he called? Is RTS at fullback?
No, he's at centre. Chance is the fullback.
I would have put Chance in centre just to ease him in. Is he ready to have a big workload straight away? He goes through a lot.
No, he'll be fine. And then the only thing that I'm finding...
I'm still going Warriors by 14.
What I'm finding very weird, though, is that, Chanel Harris-Tavita played well for the Warriors in place of...
so who's back now? Metcalf?
No, so Metcalf is still injured. Metcalf's out for about 6 weeks with a fracture.
Yep.
They've got Tamare Martin at 6.
He's such a good player. So is Chanel back on the bench?
No, he's actually dropped.
Who's the reserve hooker? Who's going to take it from
Freddie Lussick. He's very good.
You know what? After hearing all that,
yeah,
Warriors have done well with their depth. The fact that
very well.
Chanel Harris-Tavita is not even in the 17 and you think, oh, okay, he's not going to be in your 13. He's on your foot. He's
on your bench. He's not
on the bench. And then you hear Freddie Lussick. You think, oh, geez, they got depth and key positions.
Warriors by...
I got them by 14.
I got them by 3 tries.
Yeah, well, okay. And that's playing away from home. So.
Yeah, I still think they'll be way
I don't think
too good.
South's playing
they have
any
nothing,
good footy at the moment.
No. Panthers Seagulls at 4 Pines Park in Manly.
I'm going to go no Cleary. I'm still going to go Penrith by 14.
Well, Moses Leota and Fisher Harris are both playing. So
weren't they playing last week?
No, I think Fisher Harris was injured last week. He's back in this week.
Jeez, they win with even their second team.
So
unbelievable.
I'm going to say Panthers by quite a bit. Only because I feel like
Panthers... I'm going to them 14. I just thought I'd be reasonable to Manly, clunky Manly. They got a lot to answer for after last week. But I think just too much forward power and too much class across the park.
Tigers Dolphins up in Suncorp. I'm going to say Tigers again by a try.
Who's taking Lockie Galvin's spot?
Jaden Sullivan.
All right, who comes onto the bench?
Latu Fainu.
Wow.
Yeah, so Latu.
Who's Dolphins missing? This list just should have got released half an hour, guys. Forgive me.
Yeah, so you know what I find interesting? So Sean O'Sullivan's been dropped or hasn't been playing for the last few weeks, which I think
Probably needs to get his fitness back. Katoa?
Jared Wallace is in the reserves. He'll probably come back.
Who's in the halves besides Katoa?
So it's Katoa and Nikarima.
Yeah, he's a good player, Nikarima.
I reckon Tigers.
I'm going to go. I'll tell you what. I want to keep I'm just spewing Lockie Galvin's not playing because he's a breath of fresh air. I'm going to go Tigers by 4 points. Let's keep that streak going, boys.
I want to go Tigers by 12.
You can't because...
I'm telling you, Tigers have been playing well. I'm going to go Tigers by 12. I'm telling you. Look at their forward pack.
Yeah, all right. A win's a win, right?
Look at their forward pack. Look at the Tigers forward pack. Utoy Kemanu, Apisai Carousel, David Clemmer, Isaiah Papali'i, John Bateman, and Fonua Pole.
I'll go Tigers by 4. Can I ask? I don't know if you had a chance to look at the Daily M's. Is the Tigers captain leading the way? Surely he's ahead on points of everyone.
Hang on.
That guy has been absolutely phenomenal. I forgot his name already.
Api Carousel?
Api Carousel, yeah.
Let me just look up. Sorry, guys. 2004-point leaderboard. So Hines is on 12.
He had a good game on for Cronulla. He was instrumental in that comeback.
In the top 10, Api's nowhere to be seen, which doesn't make any sense to me.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Who the hell is scoring the points? For me, Api Carousel should be head and shoulders above the rest.
I'm with you, but Hammer from Dolphins is on 11 points. Yeah,
that guy's a freak.
So yeah, I'm gonna go Tigers. Now I think there's one more game to talk about, and that's actually 2 more games. Cowboys Titans. I reckon Cowboys are gonna put 50 on them.
Cowboys by 22.
I reckon Cowboys will put 50 on them.
Where's the game at? Dairy Farmers.
Yeah, I think it is.
Or whatever it's called, 1300 Smile.
Queensland Country Bank Stadium in Townsville. Yeah, and then Raiders Eels.
Oh, I'll go 30 for the Cowboys. And then who was that? Raiders Eels?
Yeah.
Raiders by 10.
Yeah, Raiders by 10 or 12. It's in GIO Stadium in Canberra.
Yeah. So, okay. I'll change it around. Raiders by 24.
I reckon Raiders by a decent amount.
Is it a cold, wintry night? I hope so. Even worse. Raiders
it's
by
on
40.
It's on a Sunday night, so it probably
Raiders
suits the
40.
Raiders.
Hey, they could do it, the Raiders. They're a freaky side sometimes.
Blaze Talangi is still there.
What's he playing?
He's playing 6. So
yeah, Raiders by 24.
Yeah.
I went from 10 to 24. I'm sticking by it.
And I think we've sort of come to the end of the podcast today.
I just want to give a shout out to diehard Bulldogs fan Taj, watching from Umina. So I hope to have you on the podcast one day, maybe from a Fans Corner.
Yeah, I'd love to have a Fans Corner.
I love and everyone else. I'll give you a shout out. I like reading your comments. There's a few guys on there. I read the comments on YouTube. I've realised I've been loyal since day dot. I'll give you guys a shout out next time. And
yeah, we want to thank you guys for being consistent with us and putting through. We're planning so much in the background. It's just, as I say, it's going to take some time to come to fruition. But Dibbo, I know we have some exciting things coming.
Oh, I can't wait to have this guest on. Matter of fact, we'll be having. Yeah, we got to put the appearance list together.
I don't think we're going to put in appearances. We're just going to surprise you guys, but we've got some great things coming up. Some things that I think...
I like the next guest that's coming on. I hope he's coming on the next one. Or is it the one after? And I'll leave it as a mystery. Sorry,
he's about to spill the beans. But yeah, look, once again, if you guys enjoy our content and enjoy being part of the journey with us, please be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like the episode. Share it with your friends. And look, leave comments. Give us good feedback, bad, negative feedback, whatever feedback that you have for us or how we can improve the show. We're always, looking for all the feedback that you can give us, and we're very open to it. We love interacting with you guys. And look, thank you once again. If you're fasting, I hope you have a great iftar. If not, I hope you have a great afternoon anyway and a great night. And we look forward to speaking to you guys next week. Thank you very much.